Hey guys, so how are we all doing? So Dan from Trading with Dan here. This is our evening Bitcoin wrap up. So yeah, straight over to the chart. Yeah, you can see we're pretty much just playing inside this zone here. A couple of indecision candles here on the 12-hour daily. As again is in a pretty much an indecision candle. So we're kind of stuck in the middle of the range, deciding whether we're going to regain the top of this range and try and make a play for this to break through this resistance, or are we just gonna turn down? I mean, you can see we pretty much came up and tapped the 21, which we are currently under and getting guided down by. 21 is pretty important for Bitcoin. If we just have a look, we can see it guides our price up. When we break it, it's obviously not good for Bitcoin, guides our price back up again, and it's sort of governing our downtrend at the moment. And obviously we've also crossed the 21 on the 50 just now as well, or just today. So yeah, I mean, we're at a bit of a decision point where we've got to see if we can break this overhead moving average resistance, or are we just gonna keep getting pushed down at least to the 21, or this support here we've got coming in around 8,100. See if we can find our footing there. Over to the 4-hour chart. I mean, the 4-hour chart sort of gives us a better picture of sort of what's going on. We sort of tried to make a move up, got rejected, and now we look like we're trying to basically mount another move up. But I mean, if we don't get above this high here now, around, well, just over 9,000, it's pretty bearish really. You can see we've tapped this bottom once, tapped it again. I mean, you could definitely see us curling over, tapping it again, and then potentially breaking through. So yeah, one good thing we've got going for us though is the 12-hour Stokes are starting to look like they're crossing up. They're not exactly really moving up in a fashion we would like them to, but it's still a good sign. If they do start to move up, that could definitely drag price action up a bit. But yeah, and obviously we spoke about the this is the 12-hour, so yeah, so obviously we spoke about the moving average. The 21 on the 12 hours also governing the price action here a bit too. Over to the range and stop. So yeah, basically this today's price action. This is where we showed we got rejected from the top this morning, and then yeah, we came towards the bottom. We actually broke through the bottom, so we've now got a lower range. So we've got a lower value relationship now between where we were trading before. So you can see we've gone into the orange on this the larger time frame, and we've actually gone the red in the shaded area too as well. So yeah, quite bearish. We see the Dominator has turned bearish here as well, the larger time frame. So we're realistically looking for sells now. When we get the sells here, so we're short on this time frame. So when we get the sells, that will be the trades that we'll be taking. We'll have a look at the Dominator and the DMT. So yeah, this corresponds with obviously the sell trade we got there. So Dominator and large time frame, short from here. Yeah, I mean, it went long here, didn't really do much, and then came back down. But yeah, DMT line coming down a little bit. It's not going to come down that fast whilst we've had this movement up here. So we're not really looking for a buy trade unless obviously we get over that important 9,000 levels. This is the same level we talked about, which obviously corresponds to this high here, which is why we spoke about it. And you can see that high basically taps the DMT line. So this is an important level for us. If we do break through here, I would then expect us to get basically to at least to the 9,200 resistance, so around here, and then we're just going to see if we can actually break through that. But yeah, at the moment though, looking pretty bearish. So not too much we can say there. TD sequential wise, there's not too much going on. I had a look at this earlier. Yeah, there's not too much. I mean, we're potentially in a few days, 3 days, we'll have a daily 9, maybe around the moving average. Maybe we'll break that 8,000. I mean, this looks like a potential scenario for me, for a turnaround proposal for Bitcoin would be this daily TD count. We get down, we break. We're good. It looks to me like we're going to break through this 8,600. So assuming we're going to break through there, we run a 6 candle here, daily 6, so a 7, 8, 9, 3 more days of weakness taking us down to the 200, which also lines up with quite a bit of historical confluence. It is, if we look at our other chart, it is this level here, this 8,000 level. If we go back over to here, it is this 8,000 level. So I'm thinking we can potentially we can break down there, get our buy 9 here with our confluence and the 200-day moving average, and then we can mount a move back up, mount a recovery from there. I think looking at like sort of like looking at the things that can happen price and chart wise going ahead into Bitcoin, that is the best scenario I can see for a turnaround, the most likely sort of event, the most likely scenario. You kind of understand what I'm saying, don't you? So I do think we could get reversed on that daily 9. It could come in, we could break through this. It's looking like we're going to break through this 8,600 level. So I'm thinking 8,000, 8,100 level, a daily 9, 3 days times what we are now, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So Friday, bounce off the 200 and then start to try and make our way back up. That's what I'd kind of look like. I mean, can we draw a trend line? Yeah, we can draw a trend line, so it will break this trend line, so that is not going to be ideal for price. I mean, depending how you're drawing this trend line, I've drawn it in other ways before where we've clearly already broken through it. We could draw it there, and we've got lots of touches there, and we are through it already. But I mean, what we could get, I mean, you often retest these trend lines, so maybe we'll get the move down to here and then come back and test it. Or even if we draw the trend line like this, we can basically come down to the 200 and then come back and test it. But then I would assume we would get rejected by the underside of this trend line, becoming resistance, and then we will potentially come lower, putting in obviously a lower high, and then yeah, get a force under the 200, and then we'll have to find our footing somewhere else. But yeah, they are likely scenarios. Maybe not the bullish picture, but hey, we're not bulltards here. We're not just looking for just hopium and unicorns and glitter and all that stuff, and just all that great nice stuff. We're just looking for where the next direction in price is going to be, so we can get on a trade. But yeah, so back to the back to our main chart. We'll go back to this on the 4 hour. So yeah, I mean, but to negate all that, we need to basically not break this 8,600 level. So we need to get our footing here, try and get up to this resistance, try and get ourselves over the 9,000 level, up to the 9,200 level, and then break that, and then we can think that we have put in a low here, which is higher than this low. So it is a higher low, and then yeah, we can work on trying to get to a higher high. So yeah, that's the ideal scenario that I can see here. Yeah, I mean, the only problem with the downside, obviously, with it getting to down here in the 200-day on the 200 period moving average on the daily, so the 200-day moving average. The only problem I do see is that there's quite a lot of nice confluence around this this 382 as well, and even the 0.5. So I mean, we would have to obviously hope we do get the turnaround and start to move up, because there are other fib levels as targets that we could be eyeing, that the bears could be eyeing getting to. And then obviously this is the ultimate one. This is the 618. This is the golden. It's not the golden pocket, but the golden pocket is basically the 618, like the 62 to 65%. But yeah, so yeah, that could potentially become a target if we don't turn around soon. So I know I said in last night's video that it's basically do or die for Bitcoin. I mean, if we don't start to turn around here, and then we don't get turned around by the 200, then you're pretty much, there's a high probability we are going to come down to the 618. And horizontals, there's not really much there, in all fairness. So I mean, yeah, I guess there is. Well, no, actually that's here. I mean, there's not a lot of horizontal here at this 618. I mean, 6,000-ish area is a historical level for Bitcoin. There is a lot of previous price action back in 2018, but I mean, yeah, I mean, we're just relying on the basically that 618, relying on that to bounce our price, which in all fairness, it has turned around price a lot of times in Bitcoin's past. Various 618 retracement levels have reversed Bitcoin's price. So it is fully plausible, fully possible. But we'll tackle that if we get there. We'll tackle that if we get through 8,600. We'll tackle that if we basically don't bounce off 8,100. There's plenty of time to assess that situation. But yeah, it's just good to have it on our radar. But yeah, ideally we want this to be the higher low, and then put in a higher high and off to the races. That's that's what we're after, guys. That's the ticket. That's the Goldilocks scenario. So yeah, anyway, so thanks for listening, guys. Remember, it's not a financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Always do your own research, and I will speak to you guys in the morning.